All right, get ready to dive in because today we're tackling a topic I know you're curious about. We're talking about the amazing ways gratitude can actually rewire your brain. You sent over some fascinating research on this, especially that piece by Jim Kwik. And I gotta say, I was blown away by this idea that gratitude isn't just about good manners, it's like a superpower for your brain. And to help us unpack all the sciencey stuff, we've got our expert here today. They're amazing at taking all those complex brain things and making them relevant to us, in everyday life. Now, Jim Kwik, he doesn't waste any time. He comes right out in this video saying that gratitude should be part of a healthy and powerful brain and powerful mental health. And so it's not just a nice to have, he's saying it's essential. Expert, what's actually happening in our brains when we feel grateful? What makes it so impactful?
Well, here's the fascinating thing. When you express gratitude, your brain releases these chemicals, dopamine and serotonin. You can think of them like these little messengers of happiness and contentment, right?
Right.
And the really cool part is it's not just a fleeting feeling. Over time, these chemical changes actually start to influence the physical structure of your brain, almost like you're rewiring it for more positivity.
Wait, hold on. Rewiring? Are you saying that simply by feeling grateful, I can change the actual physical makeup of my brain? That's pretty wild.
It is incredible. Studies have actually shown that gratitude can increase the volume of gray matter in a specific area of your brain called the right inferior temporal gyrus.
Okay, time for a quick translation. What does that part of the brain actually do?
Well, it plays a big role in social cognition and empathy. That feeling you get when you can just tell your friend is having a bad day before they even say anything. That's your right inferior temporal gyrus in action. And gratitude actually strengthens that ability. It's also involved in understanding other people's perspectives. It can make you a better friend, a better partner, a better colleague, you name it.
So it's not just about those fleeting good vibes. Gratitude is like strength training for your empathy muscles. And Kwik doesn't stop there. He goes on to link gratitude to better decision-making, increased productivity, even better sleep. Seriously. Is this magic or something? Or is there a real scientific reason behind all these benefits?
There's a perfectly logical explanation, and it all comes down to another part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, your brain's command center, if you will. Basically, gratitude fires it up, increases activity in the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for all those higher-level functions like planning, decision-making, focus, all those things that help us thrive.
So if I'm following you, gratitude is like giving my brain CEO a serious upgrade, but it makes sense, right? When you're grateful for what you have, it's easier to focus on your goals, make clear decisions, and maybe even silence those pesky, anxious thoughts that keep you up at night. Okay, this is already blowing my mind, but Clegg also talks about the limbic system, which is kind of like the emotional hub of our brains. How does gratitude play into that?
Think about it this way. Your limbic system is constantly on the lookout, scanning for threats, scanning for rewards, trying to keep you safe. Now imagine gratitude as this amazing buffer. It actually helps regulate your limbic system's responses.
So instead of immediately jumping to that place of stress or fear, gratitude helps me kind of hit the emotional brakes.
Precisely. It helps you create space between a situation and your reaction, which can be so valuable, especially in those high-stress moments. And with that space, you can cultivate more of those positive feelings like self-love, compassion, and empathy.
So it's like having this emotional sound system that's not always stuck on high alert. I like that. One thing that really hit me in Kwik's talk was his emphasis on the long-term impact of gratitude. It's not just about a quick hit of good vibes, it's about creating lasting changes. Expert, can you unpack that a little more? What happens to our mental and physical well-being when we make gratitude a regular practice?
Well, there's a ton of research now showing that practicing gratitude regularly can be a total game changer for your overall well-being. Studies show it can actually reduce your stress levels, like significantly. And we all know how bad chronic stress is for you, right? It's like your body is stuck in that fight or flight mode all the time.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like you're always racing against the clock. Definitely not the best recipe for a healthy mind or body.
Right. But that's where gratitude comes in. It's like hitting the reset button on your stress response. And when stress goes down, all these other good things start happening. Sleep often improves, which is huge because it affects everything from your focus to your immune system.
Yeah, it's hard to feel truly grateful when you're exhausted all the time.
Exactly. And it gets even better. There's really promising research now suggesting that gratitude might even boost your immune system, making you more resilient to getting sick.
Wow, we're talking about a real superpower here. It can change our brains, our emotions, and even our physical health. And speaking of practical steps, Kwik breaks down his own gratitude practice into this really catchy acronym, THANKS. Okay, I love a good acronym. So let's break it down. What does the T stand for?
T is for time. And Kwik really emphasizes that gratitude, just like anything important in your life, it needs to be scheduled into your day.
It's like making that appointment with yourself and actually keeping it, right? Whether it's first thing in the morning, during your lunch break, or before bed.
Exactly. Make it non-negotiable part of your routine.
Okay, T for time. Got it. How about the H?
H is for highlight. So taking a few moments every day to really reflect on and savor the positive aspects of your day, big or small.
It's like pressing pause on those good moments and really letting them sink in.
Yes. Kwik talks about doing this in the evening, thinking about 3 specific things you're grateful for from that day. It's really about actively looking for the good, even on those days that feel like a roller coaster.
And it doesn't have to be anything major. A delicious meal, a funny text from a friend, even just a quiet moment in a crazy day. This is great. Okay,
Right.
so we've got time and highlight. What's next?
A is for acknowledge. This is where we shift the focus outward a bit, expressing appreciation for the people in our lives.
You know, the people who make life brighter, richer, more fun.
Exactly. And it really doesn't require these big gestures. A simple thank you to a colleague, letting a friend know you appreciate them, just being present with a family member. These small acts of acknowledgement can have a huge impact.
It's like we're shining a light on those small, everyday acts of kindness that we often take for granted. All right, we're on a roll. What about N?
N is for nature. Now, Kwik is a big advocate for spending time in nature, and for good reason. Being outside, even just for a little while, can be so grounding and awe-inspiring.
It's true. There's just something about being in nature that shifts your perspective. Suddenly, those little things don't seem so important anymore.
Right. It helps you reconnect with a sense of wonder. Reminds you that you're part of something so much bigger than yourself.
Okay, moving on to K, kindness. What does Kwik have to say about that?
Kwik reminds us that you never really know what someone else is going through. We can't always see their struggles.
Which is why a little bit of kindness can make such a difference.
Exactly. It's about extending grace and compassion to others, understanding that everyone deserves kindness, especially when they're having a tough time.
It's about being that bright spot in someone's day, and you never know, that act of kindness could create this ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same.
All right, we're on the last letter of thanks. What's S for? So we're on that last letter of thanks. S, what's it all about? S is for savor. It's about truly experiencing and appreciating those simple joys and little victories we have in our lives.
This one really speaks to me. It's so easy to just rush through the day and not really take in those moments that bring us joy. What's Kwik's take on savoring?
He describes it like hitting the pause button throughout your day. With that first sip of coffee, a beautiful sunset, a good conversation with someone you care about. It's about being present in those moments and letting yourself fully enjoy them.
Yeah, it's like pressing play on those little moments of happiness and really listening to the music. You know, this whole THANKS acronym is brilliant. It's amazing how such simple practices can have a big impact. Expert, you obviously live and breathe this stuff. What are some of your go-to ways to bring more gratitude into your own life?
For me, journaling has been huge. I take a few minutes each evening to write down things I'm grateful for, helps me end the day on a good note. Plus, it's pretty awesome to look back and see all those good things, even during those tougher times.
I love that. I find that actually expressing gratitude to others, directly is really powerful. A handwritten thank you note, even a quick text message to let someone know I appreciate them, it not only strengthens our connection, but it also boosts my own gratitude. As we've been talking about all this, it strikes me that gratitude isn't just about feeling good, though that's certainly a nice bonus. It's about making a conscious effort to rewire our brains for positivity, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's about training ourselves to focus on the good, appreciate what we have, and connect more deeply with ourselves and the world around us.
It's like it's a skill, a practice that we can cultivate and strengthen over time with effort. And the benefits, as we've seen, are pretty amazing. You mentioned earlier this idea of shifting from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Could you say a bit more about that?
Yeah, it's a powerful shift. It's about changing your perspective from, I don't have enough, to I have so much to be grateful for. When you approach life from that place of abundance, it really does change everything. You see the good more easily, you appreciate those small things, and you cultivate deeper connections with others.
That is such a powerful reframe, and it makes sense. When you're feeling thankful for what you have, you're more open to receiving even more good stuff in your life.
Exactly. It's realizing that even with challenges and setbacks, there's always something to be grateful for. Life has its ups and downs, right? But gratitude helps us navigate those challenges with more grace and resilience.
You touched on something really important there, resilience. It's not about pretending those challenges don't exist, but about choosing where we focus our energy. And when we choose gratitude, we choose hope, resilience, and ultimately more happiness, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
It's recognizing that happiness isn't something that just happens to us, it's something we cultivate. Gratitude's one of the most powerful tools we've got in our happiness toolkit.
I love that analogy, the happiness toolkit. It's taking responsibility for our own well-being, right? Equipping ourselves with the tools and practices that help us thrive.
And just like any muscle, the more we exercise our gratitude muscle, the stronger it gets.
So true. It's about making gratitude a way of life, a lens through which we view the world, not just a fleeting thought or a box to check off on our to-do list.
It's about weaving gratitude into everything, our routines, our interactions, even the way we talk to ourselves.
It's about noticing and appreciating the good, the big, and the small, and letting that appreciation just fill us up. It really is a beautiful practice.
It is. And remember, it doesn't have to be complicated. Just start small. Maybe you keep a gratitude journal, write a thank you note, or take a moment to appreciate the beauty around you. Every little bit makes a difference.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. It's remarkable how something as simple as gratitude can have such a deep impact on our brains and our lives.
It's true. It's like a superpower we all have access to.
And the best part is, it's a choice we can make every single day. So as we wrap things up here, if you could leave our listeners with one thought, one thing to inspire them to embrace gratitude, what would it be?
You know, practicing gratitude can be so transformative for our well-being, for our relationships, even our physical health. I think the question becomes, what small step can you take today to start weaving it into the fabric of your own life?
What a powerful question. And it doesn't have to be this big, complicated thing.
Right.
Even the smallest acts of gratitude, when we practice them consistently, can create this ripple effect of positivity in our own lives and the lives of everyone around us. So until next time, keep diving deep, keep exploring, and keep that gratitude flowing.